What's up, YouTube? As promised, been working on a Prodigy deck. Honestly, I just got sick of playing proactive decks. I've been playing a ton of Surfer, a ton of Victoria Hand, stuff that's just putting it all out there and asking the opponent to react. And with the release of Prodigy, I tried a couple things like that. Tried a Patriot deck, wasn't very good. Tried a couple different Surfer shells, but at the end of the day, I thought the fun of the card really comes from its toolbox nature. So I decided to make a little Prodigy Sera toolbox deck. Let's get into the elevator pitch. So the pitch is, in a Sera tech deck like this is, usually you're not able to play any of your tech cards until turn 6. Sometimes a little earlier, but usually turn 6. But Prodigy enables you to play your tech cards earlier to hit threats with Shang-Chi, Enchantress, whatever it is. And then Prodigy can replay those cards at the end of the game when your opponent doesn't expect it. They think the lane is safe because you've already took out their big threat, and then Prodigy comes down, usually cheaper with Sera, and is able to close out a lane. So that's the pitch, that's the deck. Let's go card by card. Before we get into the card by card, I'm sitting at 416 subscribers right now. I've said for a while now I'd love to get to 500, first big milestone for me, and if I do that, I'm gonna do a gold pass giveaway. So please, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you enjoy the videos, go ahead and hit that button, like the video, whatever you can do to help out so I can make more of these videos and fun decks for you all to play. So first card here is Zabu. Went back and forth on including Zabu because there's only 3 4-drops. But I do think in games where you don't see Sera, this is pretty important. If you're able to hit Shang-Chi and Absorbing Man or Enchantress and Absorbing Man, that can just be enough on turn 6 to be able to play out both of those. So Zabu is kind of like a necessary evil. We do play Killmonger in this deck, so Zabu's usually just being destroyed at the end of the game. And points are at a premium, but for now I think the non-Sera plan, whenever you don't see Sera, is too important to have Zabu around. Then you have Shadow King, absolutely lethal in this particular meta. It hits Strange Supreme, brings it down to size. It hits all of the buffs that are going on in Silver Surfer decks. So many other places that Shadow King just comes up huge. It was honestly one of the big reasons I wanted to try out a Sera shell with Prodigy, because playing Shadow King early if you have to, and then being able to reproc it is super good. Then you have Fenris Wolf. So normally when Fenris first came out, the thought was, oh, Sera, because you're, Shang-Chiing. And that's true, but if you don't see Shang, Fenris feels a little awkward. So I did a couple things in this deck to help out with that. First is Killmonger, which, I'll talk about Killmonger in a second, but I think it's very necessary in this Thanos meta. So sometimes it's not bringing back something huge with Fenris, but then you have the Shang-Chi, and then the other thing I did was Black Bolt, and that's been a great way to add an extra layer of things for Fenris to bring back. It changes the math, the opponent forgets about it, sometimes I forget about it, but I think that in a deck that doesn't have many big power threats, Fenris just sits there and is very dangerous to the opponent, especially if you're taking out even a demon, with your Killmonger. That can be very strong to bring back with Fenris at the end of the game, and it's a 2/9 in that scenario. Then you got Luke Cage. With the amount of Afflict running around and just various locations that are detrimental, I think Luke Cage is important. Also, in general, it's just a good card. There's a lot of things incidentally you're not thinking about that Luke Cage helps against. So it's helped me more than it's hurt me so far. So I think it's doing its job. Killmonger, as I said, Killmonger's been in almost all my decks lately, and it's because it absolutely wrecks Thanos. People are not teching around it. They're not playing a Chimera, and Killmonger takes out Hood and demons, and it's a necessity, truly, I think so. And it goes great in a Sera deck, so it saved me countless times during this run. Prodigy, is this the best card? I don't think so, but it is so much fun, and in this Sera style of deck, it's been really cool. As I said in the intro and the pitch, the ability to play out Enchantress on turn 4 when normally you're just like passing in a Sera deck is huge, and it puts the opponent at ease. They think that threat is gone, but then being able to use Prodigy at the end of the game, and usually it's cheap and you've got Absorbing Man and all that. You can even Prodigy something and Absorbing Man on another lane, and then suddenly they think your Shang-Chi is gone on turn 4, and you're able to play 2 Shang-Chis using Prodigy and Absorbing Man later on. So I think it's just a very, very fitting card in this style of reactive deck, and it's fun. I'm interested in trying it out in different shells and seeing what we can do with it, because the fact that it's not just limited to ongoing or on reveal or activate, that it can copy anything, is super intriguing. I actually had a game today where my opponent played Negasonic. I sacrificed something to it, and then at the end of the game, they had priority. They played Prodigy on the Negasonic and totally wrecked me. I would have won the game otherwise. So just little things like that are going to keep popping up with Prodigy. Endless potential. Ghost. I include Ghost in a lot of my Sera decks. I think I did it on this channel before. There's so many times when your opponent is just feeling crafty, and they know that you're a Sera deck. They know that you're trying to react, and they'll find good ways to throw priority, and then I just throw it on Ghost, and it's, well, you're not enchantressing my Ghost most of the time. So in a deck that's so reactive, I mean, if you're not seeing Alioth, which fortunately I didn't see much Alioth during these 20 games, Ghost can be really, really hard to deal with for an opponent. Shang-Chi hits, power must be controlled, hits the big things, great with Absorbing Man. It's a Sera deck, you kind of need Shang-Chi, and Fenris Wolf is bringing back their big targets that you're hitting. Absorbing Man, it's just with Zabu and Sera and all the things I mentioned with Prodigy, it's just too important in this deck. It's going to double up Shadow King. I mean, I've doubled up Black Bolt with it before, so I think it's a very important include. Look at this cool variant. Love it. Enchantress. I went back and forth if this should be Rogue or not, or maybe if I should include Rogue or Red Guardian as well, and maybe we'll get to that point, but for now, Enchantress has done a fine job, especially since you have so many ways to double up effects. I was able to, in one of these games, take out an entire Doom 2099 board with double Enchantress, so there are cool things to do with it. It's super strong. It just closes all problems. You don't have to worry about Rogue hitting the right thing. I think it's super good in a Sera shell. There's Sera. It's a Sera deck. I mean, you have to hope you don't see a lot of Mobius. I haven't run into too much of it. I was able to Enchantress away when I did see it. And sometimes with Zabu, you can play down some of your cards early and then Prodigy them if you need to. It's not great, but generally you need Sera to be active, and you're hoping that you don't see that Mobius. But that's just the way that the game works. And then finally, Black Bolt. It doesn't need to be in the deck. I mean, people are going to ask me for replacements maybe if they don't like the way Black Bolt works, but it's here for Fenris. It can disrupt the opponent when they don't see it coming. It's a big stat line relatively. 5/7 doesn't seem that big, but in a deck where you're playing all small cards, essentially, it can actually be kind of imposing. And sometimes you don't see Sera in turn 5, you're just kind of sitting there. Black Bolt's nice to play proactively. It can take out something they were really saving for turn 6. And like I said, you can Fenris that thing back if it happens to be big enough near the end of the game. So that's Black Bolt. I think it's not bad. It's doing its job. That's the deck. Let's get into some gameplay now. I'm going to show you some of the best highlights. I ended up going 12-8, 60% win rate. Not a great cube rate because I'm still working on things, but I think once I get it nailed down, that'll get better too. And I think it's a very viable deck if you like that sort of reactive playstyle. So here are the games. All right, gonna play Fenris out, turn 2.
Breaking news.
Probably still playing that over Sam. No real reason to play Sam. Guess we'll go middle. Surge with a nice Neon Knights border. It's cool. Sure. Alright, so we got like a surfer deck probably. Kinda don't mind Enchantress here. Turn off both Cap and the Shield. So they got our Fenris. So we could just free roll Sera into Negasonic here and have it revived. And we can do something like Shang-Chi, Luke Cage, Fenris revive. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna activate their Fenris. No, it doesn't look like they did. That would have been a smart play. Glad they didn't think of it. Okay, so Luke should win that lane. And then Shadow King, Shang, Fenris. Do we like that? It works. So this is a Thanos matchup. Looking for Killmonger. Got the Shadow King for Strange Supreme if it shows up. Or Shang. Okay. Nice. Well, they're going to feel pretty safe about that Strange, but we have the Shadow King. I'm not going to snap because then they'll see me as snapping on the Wakanda. I think shouldn't matter where we put Ghost. Okay, so they're likely going to draw. Although Strange is just going to eat over there. See if we can snipe something here. Right idea, wrong card. I should have played Shang Blind. And the reason I can do that is I have Absorbing Man and I have Prodigy in the deck. Alright, so I think we're just doing Sera, right? One thing about playing Sera is that turns our Shang-Chi off from being able to be played in Crimson Cosmos. I think that's okay. Because in theory we'll just Shadow King the Strange, Shang the Mockingbird. Okay. We can even do Shang, Shadow King, Absorbing Man. Should clean up any buffs so we don't hit there. I don't mind that. It might be better to just Killmonger here. Let's see what he does. As long as they don't play Thanos on the right, I think I win. Okay. Should be a win. Okay, we got a Surfer deck. They lost their Shaw. We lose Killmonger. Shadow King's big in this matchup. Maybe this deck just wants to cut Black Bolt and play Mobius. Forge. Okay. Broodlings. Double Seras. Okay, so if we Shadow King here, Absorbing Man here, and then Prodigy. If they don't move anything, we win Sokovia, because they'll have 8. The Prodigy reprocs Enchantress in case they play Captain Carter here. We hit the Patriot as well. Okay. Is that enough? Nice. There's the Prodigy play where we can play on previous play tech cards. That's the crux of this one. I guess we'll just hope that we get Zabu into a Sanctum Sanctorum or something. Okay. I think we're just going Luke. Um, just gonna go for the Shang right now.
Power must be controlled.
Okay. Not really any incredible plays. Probably just Killmonger. Black Bolt. We could Killmonger. Eh. Did we get there? Yeah, just got there. I'm going to play Zabu here because we have the Luke Cage in the deck. And also we're trying not to take priority when possible. Fenris in the middle. Okay. So this is a good example of Enchantress early being really nice to do because Prodigy lets us do that. We're going to, as long as everything goes as expected, we're going to be able to take out Sam and the shield at the same time here. Oh, wow. Okay. That's pretty stellar for us. Now they're clogged up on the left here. They can't move the shield out. Next turn we can double Black Bolt them. Okay. I'm gonna throw Shang down. Just trying to decide where. I think maybe middle they're more likely to try to fill for Ant-Man. Okay, just Marvel Boy. Love a Killmonger. There's Luke. Let's just go for the Black Bolt play. Ant-Man, Mockingbird. Nice, we got the Killmonger. Okay. We couldn't really snap them because we didn't have a great sense of if we were going to get that or not. But I think that's just a win. Killmonger Luke. And then Fenris. It's probably going to scare them off. Got another Snap Judgments Alliance member. Always say hey to them. Okay. So Thanos, I believe. We have the Killmonger and the Shadow King in hand. And there's Luke on Sewer System. I'm going to snap on that. And we even have Ghost. This is lining up pretty nice. Oh, it's Agamotto. Haven't seen that in a minute. It's nice to have wins out of the way. Kind of think I might just Killmonger right away. Deny their Quinjet. Okay. So do we Sera or do we Black Bolt? It's probably just Sera. We could play Shadow King, Luke Cage, and Enchantress that way. I'm going to spread Sera and Ghost. Okay. Absorbing Man. Well, let's see. It's Quinjet coming back for now. Luke. Shadow King, Absorbing Man, I suppose. Is that enough? I think so. That was pretty satisfying. Let's see if they banish anything. Okay, what do we get? Not Killmonger. That's fine. There's Killmonger. We're gonna need that. Oh no. Not Mill. Mill gets Hotel Inferno. Alright, well. Guess we'll just start getting stuff down as we can. Firehair Mill. Guess we'll just go Fenris. Okay, so right now Fenris is bringing back Cable, but we plan on hitting Demon. Okay, their hand's full, so they've stolen 2 of our cards. Oh, now we're not hitting that Demon. Oops. Just Sera, I guess. Lady D. Okay, so didn't get Shadow King. They have Shadow King and Enchantress. They obviously aren't Shadow Kinging here. They have another Demon in hand, so Killmonger's still a good play. Maybe here. Shang and Zabu here. I guess it has to be Shang and Zabu there. Okay. Close. Yeah, we got there. Yondu. Nice. That was a tricky one. Okay. We both skip. Get rid of the rocks. Jotunheim. See if we can get Luke. Sam. Okay. There's Luke. Ghosting here. Kind of a bummer. I wanted to be able to Enchantress next turn and hit both. Okay. Well, now I want to Enchantress that nonsense. And they're going to move their shield there, you would assume? So we'll hit both of those. Unfortunately, Sam is what lets them move the shield, so they're not clogged here. But still, taking out Mobius is nice. Especially if we draw Sera. No, okay. Could Absorbing Mana hit the cap. But is that better than just throwing down, like, Black Bolt? Next turn we Luke and Shadow King or something. Okay, they have a Sera of their own. Took out a nice big Gwenpool. It's nice. Yeah, I think it's just Luke, Shadow King, Zabu? Let's see what they played in Jotunheim. Also, Mysterio. Okay, I think we took that. Should have snapped. I was a little scared. Like Mockingbird or Sasquatch or something. Okay. Where's Abuing? Ebony Maw, huh? Okay. Show me, Killmonger. Nope. Just kill it the old-fashioned way with Hala. We can Luke and then as long as they don't sneak something into there, we can Luke and then Prodigy. It's kind of cool. Now we're kind of forced into it. So does this happen before Doom? Okay, nice. Do we Sera or do we Black Bolt? We pretty obviously Sera, huh? Well, that hit could have been much worse. Could have been Doctor Doom classic.
All systems go.
Okay, we're hoping for Enchantress and a nice chunk of bots together to hit next turn. For now, I think we are Black Bolting and Ghosting. Sounds good. There's the Doctor Doom. Okay, maybe we're just shonging here. And then Enchantressing here. Enchantressing here. I mean, I'm gonna snap because Doom players are usually overconfident. But if we Enchantress, Shong, Killmonger, how do we lose?
Power must be controlled.
Okay, we lose right, but do we take metal? Yeah, we take metal. Hope you enjoyed that gameplay. A lot of fun things going on there. I think the deck's a blast. I do enjoy sometimes just coming in and saying no to everybody and playing that kind of control style. If you like that, if you like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Got more coming in the future. I think this is a fun season and there's some cool stuff still coming down the line, and I'll be putting out at least a video every week, and I respond to every comment. So if you are interested in talking about the deck or anything about the channel, go ahead, leave a comment and we'll chat below. But thanks so much for watching. Later.